So you worked with Cuban on the mixtape Broken Chains, right?
Yes.
Like that's like one of the big projects that you guys did. Can you describe the aura of that time period?
Oh man, you're at war. You're at war, so we on the front lines, man, and we at war. So he's making music that was a great time to be with him. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a bad time for him personally, I guess, in the business and all that. But yo, we was doing Scarface. We had somebody come play the whole Scarface theme out, and he had me cutting up the parts to put in there to match what he had went through, and then he wrote the song. It was just that mixtape. And then like Tragedy Gaddafi came and was in support. He did some verses for him that was fire, and they was just going back and forth. Then shit happened at the hotel down in Miami. We made a joint off of that.
Wait. You were there at the hotel?
No, I wasn't at the hotel. We made the song when he came back from the hotel. That's when
the remix to the hotel track.
To the hotel track, yeah. So he came back that
you
weekend.
Wanna come to my hotel?
Yes. So that bounced into Hit 'Em Up. So it was a 2-part song. So it went from the hotel and the Hit 'Em Up, which had Tragedy on it. So Tragedy recorded all that with us. We did all of that there, like everything from the recording to the mixing to the actual hosting of it. It was all done at Pirate Recordings from A to Z. Like, yeah, so that was a great time, man. I had a lot of fun doing that music. And you know what's crazy? Like, Cuban would push me. He was the type of dude, like, I'd be in there until 4 a.m. He's pushing me. Yo, we got to get this done. But then there was times that I was pushing him. Like, yo, dumb bitch, that ain't it. You got to do it again. And then, so we had a great chemistry and a great relationship when it came to making music. He trusted me and I trusted him. He taught me a lot, you know what I'm saying, like I said, with being on top of my shit. I was already a business dude, but he really had me like on I was learning a lot recording wise because I was doing things with him that I ain't do with other people. Because I was always trying to push myself to the next level because I always seen him at that level. So I'm like, yo, I got to step my shit up. I got to make sure that when I'm making this with him, I'm doing something that nobody else could do so that I can be set in stone for what we're doing because this shit's going to be historic. And that's what it was, yo, bro. These are some songs that never came out that I'm like, yo, people would have heard this. To this day, they'd be like, ooh, yeah, that's it. And sometimes I would do things that he didn't want. He'd look at me and be like, yeah, I ain't wanted to sound like that, but I like what you did with it. You know what I mean? Like I had a different vision, but I like what you did with it. And then he gave me the opportunity to produce some joints for the MOB album. I did a song with him and Don Shazina, and then I did 2 tracks that he put on Warriors is something that I ain't produced, but I had a lot to do with as a co-producer and / engineer that I recorded the whole thing and put it together. So he gave me a lot of love, man, when it came to the work. Like he pushed me, but he made it worth my while, and that was like the 3-year run. We was there every day, every other day for 3 years, just working.
So you helped engineer the session Letter to the Better, right? The track for Pun?
Yeah. I funny thing about that, I didn't have, if you're an engineer, I didn't have an automated board, meaning I couldn't do everything digitally and have it record what I was doing. So I had to manually do that song. So I manually did that whole song, and the producer Falling Down, my dude, he would put like the whole sync in there. Like if he made a beat, he had like 50 sounds going on, and you got to decipher how it should sound around the lyrics. So again, pushed me to another level where I had to actually sit there and manually mix the whole song with the mutes in and out of every freaking sound to make it the way it was. And that song came out crazy, man. That was one of my favorites.
And then you did Sugar Daddy with Maya, right?
Yes, that went through a lot of different people. It ended up on Maya. But yeah, we went through a couple of singles.
Because it was supposed to be Veronica first, right?
It was,
and then he switched to Maya.
Yeah, it was actually this female that we had as an artist that we were recording as a client, that she was super dope, JJ. She did the first take and she laid the groundwork. Then he had to get some stars on that. So then he got Veronica, then wanted to move with the Maya. So if you listen to the song, to be honest with you, the ad libs, the intro ad libs is actually JJ. She's
Oh
still there, and
wow.
then it flips into Maya, but the world wouldn't notice that. They wouldn't know. But if you listen to it now that I told you,
Did Maya actually show up in person to do it, or she sent the track?
nah, she did the track, but she didn't do it with us. She did the track somewhere
Oh,
else and then
okay.
sent it. Yeah,
Because that's a
yeah.
beautiful woman, man. Whew.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would have been one of the highlights of my career. Being able
Right.
to meet him. But I met some dope people through him.
So Cuban also told me that y'all would run Triz in the studio.
I don't know what you talk about, man. I don't know nothing about none of that, man. I don't know nothing about none of that. That's my brother. I don't know what he talk about. Oh man. Nah, we had a lot of good times though,
He's
man.
a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? He's a little
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he is. He is. He out there, He been a soloist for so long, he can say all kinds of shit, but nah.
Right.
We
No, I know
we
what
had a
y'all
lot of
know.
good times, man, but
Yeah.
what happens in Miami stays in Miami, right?
Right. So when he came back from Miami, right, and that situation that happened with Joe, what would you say the temperature was like? Would you say that he got out some of the anger, or he was more heated than ever?
Oh yeah, nah, that he never got out the anger. That just lit another fuel to the fire. So it was like, okay, the fire's burning now. It's gonna burn a little higher for a little bit, and we're gonna go full speed. But what just happened? So
So now it's an inferno.
oh
Like he
yeah,
just
he was just running. At that point, he was burning hot. He was ready to just go at him. So that's how all that shit on Broken Chains came out because it was spoken about on the radio, the situation. We utilized that and capitalized off of that, put it on the song, and then from there, he just was making joints just to get that anger out. So to be honest, it was fuel to the fire. The inferno was lit, and he was just putting it all out in music, man. He was just cranking out all kinds of music that was coming from that in his heart.